What's up guys, this is Strategy. Let's talk about the Meta Ray-Ban display. What do you think? Yeah, I'm really not digging this look. I don't think it fits my face well, but let's just leave that behind for a second. So backstory, I booked a demo and I went into the store today to try them out. Walking in there thinking there's no way I was gonna buy this because I don't think it looks beautiful and I don't trust Facebook and Meta. I don't want them to know any more about me than they already do, which is probably everything. But anyways, I did the demo and walked away with one.
Let's take a look at the box. Here it is, the front. And it says Meta Ray-Ban display, Meta logo, and Ray-Ban logo. And then on the back, there are several logos saying that it works for iPhone, and then there's a little thing you can peel out. Let's do it. Once that's peeled off, there's a little hole on the other side where you can push the box out, and the first one that popped out is the neural band. We'll just set that aside for a second. Let's take a look at the main box. Looks like there's another box in there, but I guess it is not. It's just a cushion. Yep, that box is empty. Let's focus on the main box. Here it is, the Meta Ray-Ban display. There's another peeler. Let's do it. Now that we got that out of the way, let's open this baby up. Upon opening, you can see this case. It feels like leather, but I think it's plastic. Let's set that aside for a second. Let's see what else we got. Looks like we got several booklets, and this one has a diagram of the glasses, and it kind of shows you where the sensors and cameras and all that stuff are. Let's see what's on top here. Looks like a charging cable. Let's open it up. Yep, a USB-C to USB-C charging cable and a polishing cloth. Now let's take a look at the main event here. Here's the case. Upon opening that, you see the Meta Ray-Ban display. There's a little tab you can pull. I probably should do that, but let me just take this out. So here's a first look at the Meta Ray-Ban display. It's pretty chunky. Let's take these paper sleeves out. I'm sure the piano black surface is going to scratch so easily and probably going to attract a lot of fingerprint. I'm just really not sure if I like the piano black surface. There's a Ray-Ban logo. Let's look at the lenses. You can see the little display there inside the lens. Okay, let's take a look at the charging case. So apparently this one will charge your glasses, and apparently this case is foldable, so you can fold the flaps on the side and then just fold the entire thing flat. Should make it a lot easier to store that in like a backpack or somewhere where you don't really need to use it. Now here's another box that we left behind at the beginning. It is the Meta Neural Band. So just pull that out. You can see the neural band in there. This one is kind of gray, dark gray, because the glasses are black, and so this one comes with a gray one. So if you were to get the brown glasses, it will come with like a tan/brown neural band. Inside it, there is a charging cable. This plugs into USB-C, but it has a magnetic with those prongs to charge the band. It's kind of like a smartwatch. The band itself feels really good, feels really high quality, feels really premium. It has magnets and a little flap there where you can expand and retract the band, so it fits your wrist tightly. So let me take out this paper thing, and There's a locking mechanism and a little Meta logo there. Let's see what else we got. A little more booklet on the neural band, and that's it.
But the fact is, I was really impressed with, especially the Nora band. I think it's it works really well, and it's really natural. It's a natural way for you to like control the glass without using the touchpad on the side. So that's probably the part that impressed me the most. And then the glass itself, I think the glasses I think they're too bulky, they're too big, and it just doesn't look fashionable, at least not in my eyes. I know it's subjective, but it's just so thick. Like, I'm just not used to these kind of glasses. But the display is pretty good. It's not as good as I was expecting. I had the Google Glass way back when, and it's been so many years, and I would have thought that the display technology would have gotten a lot better. And it is a lot better, but it's still not as much of an improvement as I thought it was going to be. It's still great. It's still good in sunlight. It looks more normal than the Google Glass. It doesn't have that thick prism display or whatever. It looks more normal. It fits in the lens, and other people can't see when the display is on. Like right now, I have the display on, and you probably can't tell, right? I have the maps and everything on. One of the biggest feature for this form factor computing device is that, it has a camera, you're already wearing it, it can see whatever you can see. So access to Meta AI is very important here, and it feels like they implement it really well. It works most of the time. It's definitely not perfect, but, I can say, hey Meta, what am I holding? And then it will take a picture of it and then tell me exactly with a little screen as well, and I can ask, follow-up questions on that stuff. Works pretty well most of the time, but Meta AI, I feel like it's still, behind ChatGPT and all that stuff. But hopefully they will keep improving on it, and, one day it might be amazing. Right now it's useful. So let's take a closer look at the glasses themselves. Here is the front. Nothing too much. You have a little Ray-Ban logo here on the lens, and then you have a camera on this side, and this side appears to be a camera, but I think it's fake. I don't think it's a camera. So it's only a camera on one side, and then on the side you have this touch sensitive panel where you can control. It's a touch control, and then you have this Meta logo here. On the other side, you have a Ray-Ban logo. Take a look at the Nora band real quick. Like here, I have it, I'm wearing it right now. So in order to take it off, there's this magnet. And then there's a little flap here. You kind of unlock it, and then you can, kind of expand it out and take off. And of course, I may have it. Yeah, I've been wearing this all day. And then with this, the inside, you can see there's like a few sensors there, 2 of them on here, and then a bunch more on the band itself. And then on this side, there's a little Meta logo. Yeah, all in all, I think it's well designed. It feels premium. It works really well. And yeah, kudos to Meta on this part. Of course, the biggest advantage of this model versus the other one is that you have a display built in, so you can activate it. We'll just do it real quick. We can just do this because I have Nora band, and that controls it. And then on here, I can scroll right and left by doing this. This is to the right, this is to the left, down, up, select, like that. And then double tap to turn off the display. Double tap again using the middle and the thumb to turn on. Yeah, it works really well. And again, like I said, I'm really impressed with this Nora band. It works extremely well, and I know that in the future, or I think you can opt in. That's what they're saying. You even use this to write out like letters to send text and all that stuff. So that'll be interesting. So having a display here is really awesome. However, everything is tied to Meta. So you need a Meta AI app running on your phone at all time. You have to give it, your permission, like always on permission, so Facebook knows exactly where you are at all time. For this location services to work for the glass, kind of makes sense, kind of scary. And then like maps and all those apps are still meta like on here, and I don't think it as good as Google Maps or Apple Maps. Yeah, so everything is tied to that, and the Meta AI app on here is pretty good. You know, you take pictures and videos and it transfers, syncs pretty automatically and to your phone, and then you have an option to upload to the cloud, which I don't have that turned on. And so the experience is very limited, you know, in the Meta space. I know that in the future, I'm sure they're going to open up the API, or maybe they already have. And hopefully there'll be, you know, apps and all the other stuff on here will make it a lot more useful. But right now it feels like, you know, first generation iPhone. Obviously it doesn't do as much because it's just a glass, like a small display on the side. But right now it feels really limited in what you can do with the glasses. I would say the most compelling reason for anyone to get it is the ability to capture POV shots, videos, which is limited to 3 minutes or 1 minute, depending on the settings, but 3 minutes to the max, and take pictures. And they're decent quality pictures and videos.
Here's a video sample. And some picture samples.
So that's it, the Meta Ray-Ban display. What do you think? Do you think it's worth $800 price tag? And is it worth giving your information to Facebook to access? Yeah, you guys let me know what you think. And thank you for watching, and I will be seeing you on the next one.